That's the Prime Minister. Lucy Hockings will be here at midday. First, let's get a look at the weather with Carol Kirkwood.
Live from London, this is BBC News. 7 aid workers, mostly foreign nationals, killed in Gaza. The American charity they work for blame an Israeli airstrike.
I just spoke to WCK founder, Chef Jose Anders, and expressed the deepest condolences of Israel Defense Forces to the families and the entire World Central Kitchen family.
Senegal's new and youngest president is sworn in. His election is seen by many as a symbol of hope and a triumph for democracy in West Africa. Donald Trump posts a $175 million bond in his New York civil fraud trial. Hello, I'm Lucy Hockings. Welcome to BBC News Now. 3 hours of fast-moving news, interviews and reaction. 7 aid workers have been killed in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza. The group, mostly foreign nationals, were working for a US aid organisation, World Central Kitchen. The charity said they were travelling in a deconflicted zone in branded armoured cars and had coordinated movements with Israeli forces. Those who died were Australian, Polish, British, Palestinian and a dual US-Canadian citizen. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. We're going to take you now to Senegal, a big day for people there. African leaders have gathered as well for the inauguration of the newly elected President Faye. Security beefed up, though, around the presidential palace in Dakar. Mr. Faye winning last month's delayed elections, securing 54% of the vote. And these live pictures are coming into us now of the inauguration of all those many leaders who have gathered. And watching closely for us is our West Africa correspondent, Thomas Nadi, who joins us now. Thomas, what is the feeling inside the country today as they watch this new, young, charismatic leader inaugurated?
That is kind of a quid
we
pro quo.
We have to leave it there. Professor Herman, thank you very much for joining us with those insights from Tel Aviv. Thank you. This is BBC News, the headlines. 7 aid workers, mostly foreign nationals, killed in Gaza. The American charity they worked for blame an Israeli airstrike. We bring you a special report from South Africa's border as illegal immigration dominates the agenda in the run-up to the election. And a high-tech solution to help manage type 1 diabetes, an artificial pancreas. Let's update you now on our top story. A food charity is now halting its work in Gaza after 7 staff members were killed in what it says was an Israeli airstrike. World Central Kitchen accused Israel of assaulting humanitarian groups working in difficult conditions and said food is being used as a weapon. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. Good to have you with us on the BBC. Women in New York are on high alert at the moment, and that's because there's been a string of assaults. Videos posted on TikTok show them recounting being punched in the face by unidentified men in the street, raising concerns about safety. There have been attacks like one on comedian Sarah Suzuki-Harvard, who was punched from behind while walking alone, and it's left many women feeling very vulnerable. The conversation, fueled by online videos going viral, is encouraging women to stay aware. Let's show you some of the videos that were posted by women who were attacked. This is on TikTok. There is the website up and running at the moment, the live page that we have for you, just bringing you all the reaction to the story as well. Let's just quickly as well update you on some other days of the day's news, other stories making the headlines. There are reports of cross-border fire at several locations along the frontiers between Armenia and Azerbaijan. The two countries, currently engaged in peace talks over the long-running Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, have blamed each other for the latest incidents. See you again in a few minutes. Live from London, this is BBC News. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu admits 7 aid workers were killed in an unintentional IDF strike.
Truth is that this is beyond any reasonable circumstances. Someone going about providing aid and humanitarian assistance should lose their life.
I just spoke to WCK founder, Chef Jose Anders, and expressed the deepest condolences of Israel Defense Forces to the families and the entire World Central Kitchen family.
Iran warns of a harsh response to a suspected Israeli attack on its embassy in Damascus that killed 2 senior commanders. At least 1 child killed in a school shooting in Finland. Police say the suspect was just 13 years old. And Senegal's new and youngest president is sworn in. His election is seen by many as a symbol of hope and a triumph for democracy in West Africa. Hello, I'm Lucy Hockings. Welcome to BBC News Now. 3 hours of fast-moving news, interviews and reaction. 7 aid workers have been killed in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza. In the last 10 minutes or so, the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, has said the strike was unintentional. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. Let's return to the Middle East. Iran vowing retaliation for an Israeli airstrike against its consulate in Syria. The Revolutionary Guard say 7 officers, including 2 senior commanders, were killed in that strike in Damascus. Iran and Syria's governments condemning the attack. The Israeli military has said it does not comment on foreign media reports. However, it has previously acknowledged hundreds of strikes in recent years on targets in Syria that it says are linked to Iran and to allied armed groups. Let's talk to our diplomatic editor, James Landau, who is with me now. James, President Raisi saying this will not go unanswered. He's vowing retaliation. What are the possible scenarios now? Let's bring you some of the day's other news now. We are getting reports of cross-border fire at several locations along the frontiers between Armenia and Azerbaijan. The 2 countries, currently engaged in peace talks over the long-running Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, have blamed each other for the latest incidents. A story doing well on the BBC News website. Instagram fans are ruining special places, according to cavers in Wales. The Gwynedd Quarry is home to hundreds of old cars and protected by volunteers. But a YouTube video with 6 million views has brought an influx of visitors. Local cavers now fear that tourism may see it closed forever. Also doing well online, Japan's royal family, because they have made their social media debut with the launch of an Instagram page. The posts so far include pictures and videos of Emperor Naruhito, Empress Masako and their daughter Princess Aiko carrying out various engagements. They quickly got 350,000 followers in their very first day. They're trying, it seems, to spark more interest in the world's oldest monarchy. This is BBC News, the headlines. 7 aid workers, mostly foreign nationals, killed in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says it was a tragic and unintentional mistake. As South Africa gears up for an election, illegal immigration is dominating the agenda. We'll bring you a special report from the border. And a look at one of the latest frontiers in tourism. It's the Arctic. Benjamin Netanyahu has admitted a tragic and unintentional Israeli strike killed 7 aid workers in Gaza. We've just had a recorded message from the Israeli Prime Minister, who said the country will do everything so that it does not happen again. World Central Kitchen accused Israel of assaulting humanitarian groups working in difficult conditions and said food was being used as a weapon. The charity called the strike an attack on humanitarian organisations working in the most dire situations. Israeli military forces say they're conducting now a thorough review of what they called a tragic incident. Let's have a listen to Benjamin Netanyahu. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. Sports brand Adidas has banned German football fans from buying their country's kit with the number 44 on the back. That's because of concerns the font used for the number makes it appear similar to the symbol used by Nazi SS units in the Second World War. Pierre-Antoine Denis has more from the newsroom. Don't forget you can go to the BBC News website to get the very latest reaction from around the world as Benjamin Netanyahu says Israeli strike has intentionally killed 7 aid workers in Gaza. It's all there for you. We've got more coming up. Do stay with us. Live from London, this is BBC News. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu admits 7 aid workers were killed in an unintentional IDF strike.
Unfortunately, in the last day, there was a tragic incident of an unintended strike of our forces on innocent people in the Gaza Strip. This happens in war. We are checking this thoroughly. We are in touch with the governments and we will do everything for this not to happen again.
Iran warns of a harsh response to a suspected Israeli attack on its embassy in Damascus that killed 2 senior commanders. A school shooting in Finland leaves 1 child dead and 2 seriously injured. Police say the suspect is just 12 years old. Senegal's new and youngest president is sworn in. His election is seen by many as a symbol of hope and a triumph for democracy in West Africa. Hello, I'm Lucy Hockings. Welcome to BBC News Now. 7 aid workers have been killed in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the strike was unintentional. The group of aid workers, mostly foreign nationals, were working for US aid organisation World Central Kitchen. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. Bassirou Diomaye Faye has been sworn in as President of Senegal, becoming Africa's youngest elected leader. And there were heads of state from across the continent attending the inauguration ceremony in the capital Dakar. Late last month, Mr Faye won the delayed elections, securing 54% of the vote. An exciting development. Do stay with us here on BBC News. Lukwesa is here next with World Business Report.
Now on BBC News, the latest business news from across the globe. World Business Report.
Retail inflation falls to its lowest level in 2 years, but experts warn we're not out of the woods just yet. And what is a centi-billionaire? According to Forbes, there are more of them than ever before. Stay with us to find out more. Hello and welcome to World Business Report. I'm Lukwesa, Burak. We start in the UK and some news that may put further pressure on the Bank of England to cut interest rates sooner rather than later. Shop price inflation has eased to its lowest rate since December 2021, coming in at 1.3% in March, and that was down 2.5% in February. That's according to the latest data from the British Retail Consortium. The fall had been driven by lower food prices and more competition between the supermarkets. Earlier, I spoke to Javier Dillon, who is an economist from the British Retail Consortium, and I began by asking him if the outlook of the data is sustainable.
Adrian Murray, BBC News, Rovaniemi.
Hello, I'm Sarah Mulcairns at the BBC Sports Centre. England all-rounder Ben Stokes has asked to not be considered for a selection for this summer's T20 World Cup to focus on his fitness. And that is all the sport for me for the moment.
Sarah, good to see you. Thank you. We have some breaking news to bring you now from Turkey. 15 people have been killed, 8 others injured in a fire at a nightclub in central Istanbul. The city's mayor says the fire broke out during daytime repair work and added that it had now been extinguished. It's understood most of the injured people are in a critical condition and are being treated at a nearby hospital. An investigation has been launched into what caused the fire. Japan's royal family has made its social media debut. What they've done is launch an Instagram page. Here it is, and the posts so far include pictures and videos of the Emperor, Naruhito, Empress Masako and their daughter Princess O carrying out various engagements. The page has already got lots of followers, 350,000 in the first day alone. They're hoping it will spark more interest in the world's oldest monarchy. Matthew's here next. Bye-bye.
Hello there. There's been a lot of cloud around today. And whilst we'll see some sunshine in the next few days,